looks good. Infernal Drake spawning in just 40 seconds right now, and TL with the lead, 2,500 gold up. Likely to be the ones in control for that. The Ocean Drake helping a lot as well. Early Ocean Drakes are just absolutely insane for making your laning phase look good. Infinite mana, a nice benefit of that.
I feel like this is the best Drake curve, Ocean into Infernal. Here we go, though. This is that top fight. Lorlo even had the red buff. He's fighting in the cannon minion wave. A lot of minion damage actually there. I'd be very curious to look at that recap because he's tanking 2 waves worth, and he actually went right back into that stun. Seraph's like, okay, I'm happy to fight you with my 2 sets of ranged minions plus cannon and just stun you up. Lorlo doesn't realize till too late. Gonna lose this 1v9?
Yeah, 1v9 if you count them as... We had discussions earlier about minion rights and if they count as full, full
They definitely don't count as full. So maybe if you have 3 waves.
All right, that's like each wave is a champion. It's like a 1v2.
Here we go, though. There's the Infernal Drake. Seraph gonna teleport in, and it's fight!
A bit of a team fight. Matt taking a lot of damage. One more health to it. They're gonna knock him down. Seraph gets one already, and now Jinth in a whole world of trouble, and a bunch of kills now coming through. How much more can they get? It's a double already for Seraph. He's got Flash available. Liquid running away. The nice Q from Hakuho after the Flash. Lorlo's gonna jump over the wall.
He also has his ultimate, so I don't know if that Flash was really advised, but Team Envy are gonna try and get a turret off of this. Minion wave control is
really
the objective
small, though.
here.
It's not going to be enough. The tank does watch out. Ninja could get stunned. He might have to pull, and he will do so. Hakuho quite injured. Is there much more of a chase for Liquid? Phoenix, wants to go in full health bar. Lorlo gets stunned up, and oh no, that was way more than he wanted to bite off right there. The second time Lorlo dies for phase diving in.
I don't think they were communicating that because it looked like Lorlo was just playing off of Phoenix's actions rather than pre-planning that re-engage. Cassidy had already turned around, just going for some poke there, and Lorlo went for the kill. But let's take a look at the first kill. Matt was CC'd down as he got pulling. Good little dodge there by Laud as well to get out of the parallel convergence. And now we're all over the place.
And that, I believe, was a 3-for-1 long form right now. The Drake's still alive, so someone else can pick that up in the near future, but the gold has been chopped back down to an only 800 difference. And once again, Liquid get a ridiculously good early game, and then a team fight happens and Envy bring it back to equal.
Pretty much. Laud here is going to curve out a little bit quicker than the Sivir as well. See if he can stay afoot. He is in a more self-sufficient AD carry as well.
I do think, though, to hit the point again that we had before, is even though Envy are playing the mid game better, I do think the scaling still does lie with Liquid. That this is not the same as game 1 where, oh, Envy tied it up, they're going to win this one late. I think it still does rest on Liquid's hands.
Definitely a possibility. There are tools that Envy have that can be used really effectively. As you said, Braum Wall, that's always great against the Sivir. You can try and destroy the Ricochet, and then Lucian is a much more, as I said, self-sufficient AD carry than Jhin, say, from the last one, so a little bit less susceptible to Kassadin. We'll see how well Laud can play it and how well his front line can also play it, because it is very much a team effort to try and defend team fights against Kassadin.
For sure. We are actually seeing a more assassin-focused build from Seraph. He's going Yomu's Ghostblade second. Maybe it is going to be Dusk third after all. Normally we see things like Ruin King in that kind of build. Not going to be the case here.
Gotta say, I love what Ray has done to the top lane itemization builds.
Duskblade and everyone.
Duskblades, full damages. All right, here we go, though. Infernal Drake number 1. Because the last time they started off, we were unable to finish. This time around, success for Team Liquid. They claim Drake number 2 for themselves. And even though the gold lead has disappeared, the Drakes remain, and they still have those bonuses.
And we'll see how much more they can get because Liquid are playing pretty fast right now. No one is here to really stop the bot lane. There's a bit of a flank coming in. Braum to the left-hand side. Liquid gonna have to disengage this one. Big Hemo flank. Dive for Ninja. W's in and has to retreat though. He's gonna catch a bit of a heal. 800 health back in for this one.
Huge Hemo plague, but there's no damage to put on top of the damage amp there. Team Liquid are able to kite right back out. They trade ultimates. That was the Sivir ultimate blown to kite it back out. And we'll see what they get when they stick around here.
Attempted blue buff. Looks like it went over to Proxen on Envy, though he's wearing a blue himself. Good smite, good barrel. Out they go. Liquid definitely are not wearing blue buff, so I believe it did go to him.
Big difference here as well. Casted and build. This time, Phoenix is not opting for the Lichbane split push damage that Seraph went for. He's going right into that team fight of the Zonias. That team fight playmaking that we talked about for Casted allows them so much offensive power when you can go in with the confidence that you can also stasis and wait for the rest of your team to swarm in with the speed from Sivir ultimate. So maybe Team Liquid look to push up that timeline where they can try and start taking those victories. Meanwhile, Envy though, Siege is back on.
And there we go. Bot lane outer turret goes down. Nice split pushing by Seraph. Mid lane under fire. Going to stay alive for now, but Envy now up 1,000 gold. I think this is part of the reason he's going Zhonya's. Like, Alistar has to, like, consciously pulverize a target, right? And if Catherine's zipping around, he's got to save the cooldown. Braum just auto-attacks you once, and as a melee champion, you will get stunned.
He's got to consciously auto-attack him, too,
I mean,
right?
okay, sure, but...
hope that all these guys are conscious while...
I click off my monitor when I play League of Legends. This is why I'm losing LP rapidly every week, but yeah, Hakuho has a very easy job, a relatively easy job of actually CCing Phoenix and making his life very difficult in 5-on-5s. Just takes an auto attack, 1 second cooldown, no big deal.
Yeah,
Hakuho has a very easy more tools that Phoenix has to somehow navigate around when you have to land auto attacks to do your full combo, and Hakuho said auto attack to kill you.
Assassins definitely
Cooldown,
don't
no
like
big deal.
True.
More tools that Phoenix has to somehow navigate
Here it is again,
around.
the trailing split pusher play. Can he make it happen this time around?
Seraph running for dear life, doing the best he can. Jumped on by Lily yet again. Grasp triggers, the slows are there, and Phoenix now going to be in range. Flashes for everything else, and oh, Seraph is just going to run out of HP in this one. Flashing over the wall, Lorlo still in the chase. One more phase dive could do it. Gets the Q. Time Warner's going to set it up. There's the shutdown. Nicely done, Liquid, with the trailing Cassidy in play. Gets the 2-on-1 kill.
Now they can shove up the bottom lane. They're actually going to have Phoenix just recall. They did use both of their solo lane flashes in order to get that kill, but they didn't use any teleports, so they can still respond. If Envy try and collapse on this mid lane push, there are 2 teleports waiting to be used. They don't try and bait them in. They don't really. The minions were all dead, and there's no ward, so that's the only reason, really. Yes, you have your teleports, but if there's nothing to use them on, can't really bait that one out.
So gold going back Liquid's way now. First team to hit 40,000 gold here as bot lane tier 2 goes down. Nice split pushing by Lorlo. You saw a little bit ago, Jin very afraid of Envy's potential fight and kind of burned his ultimate a bit prematurely, so no on the hunt available for a little while. It will be back up well in time for the next Drake. That shouldn't be too big of an issue, as the 45-second timer is all that Liquid needs. Blue Trinket, Proxen should probably get this smite. Yeah.
Probably.
Nicely done, he gets it.
There is a stage in the game where you really start respecting Mage Burst and mid laners, and that's why we always talk about, oh yeah, you need a zone for Baron Smites and stuff like that. Not quite there with the Rod of Ages and Zhonya's. Can't quite out-damage the Smite yet.
Arcsecond going to Titanic Hydra as well, so more damage coming out of the backside. And now Phoenix, finds 3 enemy champions there. Ooh, dodge the body slam with a flash knockup. It's going to be everything they need. I don't see him getting out of this one. One more hit will do it. Lot gets himself the kill. 2, 1, and 2 for this Lucian. Time the game back up. Envy still striking back.
Yeah, he will come up in time for the Infernal Drake. So for Team Liquid, yeah, that always sucks when you give a kill like that, but you know, they do have a Sivir they can try and rotate over for wave clear. And
by time, this turret's going to lose a lot of health. Sivir's not there. Arcsecond doing what he can, but he has to respect some of the damage output and be just a little bit gun shy because they're actually playing the split push game. Seraph is in the mid lane, just soloing that mid lane turret down, going to knock it out. And Envy tying the score up again, and look at the knockback out of Lorlo. He's going to hold back in, but a couple more attacks will do it. No, Tempered Fate hits him. Will this be the re-engage for Liquid? Damage on a Seraph, quick shield block for Hakuho, and they're going to be okay.
But if they can whittle him down, you know, chunk out the health bars in preparation for this Drake, that also is a very big deal. Now it's only 10 seconds away for the Infernal. Envy healing back up in the river, and they have a teleport on Seraph. So Seraph is going to purchase, then come back out onto the field.
And meanwhile, the Ocean Drake Liquid got earlier is helping them stay topped off for this move forward. They're all nice and healthy. Right now playing mid lane priority is Liquid as the Infernal Drake spawns just now. And Envy say, we rush Drake, we defend mid, and they're gonna waddle over towards the mid lane, but this is a bad choke point. This could be cut off. You can see Matt looking for the stun.
Look at that ward now. Seraph's going on it.
Here comes the Seraph flank. Look into the back line for Phoenix as Liquid runs away, but it's a bit of a disjointed retreat. Seraph's got to run back into the slow into Arcsecond. Watch out for the stun as Lorlo looks for a little bit, and looks like Seraph's TP means basically nothing.
Definitely a bit disjointed, as you say. Pretty hard to collapse on that, though. I mean, the Team Liquid squad is very mobile. They're actually going to try and start up Inferno while defending mid.
It's a difficult call. I mean, Liquid clearly have priority. They can get the chip damage down on the turret. Envy don't want to let it go. They don't want to trade objectives. They want to fight for this one. Here comes the dive in. Ninja wants Jint. Explosive cast doesn't do a whole lot, but it does mean Sivir gets dropped out. 1 for 0 so far. Ninja catches the heal. They're now on to Matt, and Bard goes down. The third kill as well on the backside. Arc second drops his life. Now a gold lead for Envy. It's a 5 versus 2, and they're going for Baron.
Yeah, they can upgrade their neutral objective now. No longer focusing on Dragon. Here comes Lorlo, though, misses the stun.
Missing the stun, 600 health going back into Ninja's pockets thanks to his empowered Q, and Envy make the right call to go for the fight. It was tricky, but they made the call. Knock it from Hakuho, just trying to buy time because they're saying focus Baron, knock it down. 1,000 health left. Smite is up for Proxen, and he's going to pick it up cleanly. Nicely done, Envy now sizably ahead.
Good job by all members there. Nice zoning from Hakuho. Able to get the knock up on both solo laners. Doesn't go down. They don't lose anyone in this fight, and they get the Baron afterwards. Jin spends the entire time just running here. Ninja drive-by kill onto the Sivir, circles around. That was almost all Ninja right there. Just runs through the entire team. Vladimir drive-by, and Jintz did not get more than a couple autos off. Maybe only one the entire time.
And he, is going for the standard offensive build. I can't fault him for going into the items he's going for here, but he just got worn down so rapidly here.
That's why Ghost is so popular on Vladimir. There is the option, as we saw last game, to take teleport as well and have that extra global, but Ninja making good use of team fighting there. Able to get huge neutral objectives for the team. Baron and Infernal over to Envy, and once again, we have a game, early game going over Team Liquid. Couple of solo plays, some jungle first blood. Envy takes over in the mid game. More coordination here, and actually, they do not have teleport on Seraph, so Envy has to run for it.
Sivir ulti pop, Liquid pulling the trigger, trying to make the play happen. Lolo's on the flank, lands a two-man stun. Here's a knockout from Arc second. This is the fight that Liquid needs, but do they deserve it? It's a two-man temperate fake to make the play happen. Ninja in the front lines, but he's pretty tanky, and the Vladimir dives forward, puts on the pool. Lolo running out of health, and now Arc second gonna get stunned up. This is now a dead Rex side. No, she's gonna just barely slink away, but here come the reinforcements. Seraph is on. He's here to make some arrests. Looking for the kill. Ooh, on to Matt they go. Phoenix in the back lines as well. Trading blows back and forth. A very spread out fight as Hakuho's out of HP, but it doesn't matter. 2 kills picked up, and now Phoenix on the wrong side of town. He's not going to get revived for this one. This is going to be Proxen. Dancing around.
No help.
Well, he's waiting for his team. He can't win what's going under Phoenix.
His team's not coming. You can wait as long as you want, but Hakuho's only got 100 HP.
No one's around to help. He's just buying time because the rest of the team running around near the mid lane, near the bottom jungle, and a strange encounter all said and done.
Trying to trap a Kassadin.
Good luck with that. He's got full mana, and an Ocean Drake's actually giving him some health back. There's the body slam flash, and Proxen gets the officially solo kill.
Patience there.
Yes.
Proxen.
Wow.
Toys with his prey for a little while, corners him against his own base. Meanwhile, though, the reason he had to do that and the reason he had to wait, Laud and Seraph as well were pushing up, and they're trying to get that global gold, make use of the Baron buff.
All right, nicely done, and here we go. A 6,000 gold lead puts Envy in the driver's seat, and once again, they have done such a better job of winning the team fights. Now into bot lane tier 2, the macro play, honestly, just on point for Envy as they grow the lead even bigger.
Eerily similar to game number 1 here, and
yeah,
the map has gone dark for Team Liquid. All right, let's look at this, because this is one of the cases where it was almost Team Envy. Eyes getting a little big here and chasing too many kills at once. They realized, though, that they were starting to lose a couple of the battles. Hakuho got super low. They almost didn't have enough people to send off and chase down all the kills, but then they regroup. They collapse on the stragglers and are able to pick up some more advantages for themselves. Only one outer turret still stands for Team Liquid, and Envy have actually grown this into a very sizable gold lead.
Yeah. 6,500 right now. We'll see if it gets any bigger. Chances are it will. They've been the better team in the late game. Absolutely. Ninja playing the wave clear, no big deal. Mid lane under control entirely. And at this point, you just kind of watch from Envy's perspective and say, what's next for these guys? What's the next objective for them? Because anything they want, they tend to be able to take.
I say go back to the split push. They're sending Seraph. He's got the teleport. He's got 2 levels on Lorlo and Phoenix. So I don't care who you send at this Aurelia. There's nobody that can answer it by themselves. I'm not even quite sure if they can kill him in another one of those trailing solo split pusher plays where they both go. Maybe. It would definitely take them a long time because Seraph also has flash. So very easy for Envy just to go back to the split push, send this massive Aurelia to create some pressure, and the 4-man squad siege up, try and take down the extra gold here.
Well, here comes the potential for a play. Phoenix gets a bit of damage. kites back out, and of course, thankfully for Liquid, they've got that Sivir. So the wave clear is there. They can buy a lot of time. Here comes the next wave. Vlad can knock the wave down pretty quickly. There's the Boomerang Blade, and you hope that he could see Jhin get baited by the wave. Not going to happen just yet. They're going to go for it here. And here comes the play. Seraph, 1v2, looks for the play, gets stunned up though by parallel convergence. Plenty of damage into Phoenix, who has to cut away. Pops the Zhonyas, and Seraph just saying, yep, you're mine. Nope, not gonna get it just yet. Stuns Lorlo instead. Body slam chains in, and suddenly life is bad for Echo. Ult's back, but he's going into the enemy team, and there's the kill picked up. Envy doing a great job turning it back around. Seraph just does not take enough damage.
Yeah, that's the reason I was skeptical about that 2v1. Yep. Seraph is going to capitalize. Envy are going to take the inhibitor turrets, and they've broken their way into the Team Liquid base.
Nicely done, making it much faster than last time around. It took many fewer comeback team fights. Envy making it look a lot better here. 33 minutes in, middle inhibitor is dead. Envy are poised to make it a 2-0 lead in this best of 5.
Looking to actually deliver on that 3-0 promise, even though opening up in game 1 and even game 2 looked a little questionable, but man, have they been able to take over in the mid and late game. And honestly, that was the story for Team Envy for most of the split, right? The big successes were always in that mid game. Seraph not only is he the captain of the team, but he does a lot in directing them towards the late game, split pushing in, focusing on these objectives, and they have had very, very good control.
Yeah, gotta say, just overall, massive props to Envy for how they are navigating these mid games, because they're getting down substantial counts. There was like 3,000 at 15 minutes. That's pretty big, and they still made it happen.
Yeah, there is definitely some for both sides, because Team Liquid are making some unforced errors and opening opportunities, but Envy are capitalizing on them very well and getting those punishes to work.
We'll see what the next punish is. As we move forward, Seraph once again splitting in the bot side. You've got Gragas dealing with minions and monsters in the top as they once again find their lane assignments. Looks like 3-1-1 this time around. Vladimir holding the mid. Ninja can easily run to either side, whichever one is needed, as the primary force is going to be in that top lane. Baron is going to be alive. So is the Mountain Drake, actually. So some neutral objectives also to play for. They don't need to go for turrets. Instead, they play the vision game around neutral objectives, and they will start the Baron right away. There's some wards around, but it'll still be very difficult for Liquid to make this even happen. So they're going to recall 10,000 health on Baron Nashor. Ninja spotted up, takes a bit of damage, but he's Vladimir, doesn't care too much. Hawk will hold in the front line. Here comes the teleport.
Envy want this fight.
And they're going to catch Matt, though. It's going to be one picked off already. Lod's unstoppable. Here comes the dive on in. Phoenix got to run away. Seraph in the back line. He's already picked off Jhin. Phoenix going to run for this one. Arcseeker running out of health as well. Jumps over the wall, but here comes Seraph anyway. And it's another one. A double kill for Lotta. 3 for 0. Envy can do no wrong in these fights. Liquid just limping and losing more and more limbs every time.
Envy gonna run it straight through to the Nexus too. They're looking to end the game, not delaying at all.
Not at all. They've already
maybe a little bit to try and kill Phoenix.
Maybe.
Stare him down.
Fantasy points don't exist here in the late game or in the postseason, so it's going to be the Nexus turret's the primary target. What matters is winning the game and winning the match, and so far 2-0 in games. Envy have started their run. One last fight to seal the deal. Push Phoenix away from the Nexus because they will grab the last kill. Lot is godlike. The Nexus goes down, and Envy are one game away from their rematch with Cloud9.
Team Liquid definitely with some issues to clean up towards the mid game. Losing Dardoch, that's why people said it was such a big deal, because losing Dardoch, not only is he a great individual jungler, right? This guy, he's got great mechanics. People are saying, oh, he arguably could be the best person on their team just as an individual player.
Sure.
But he did so much as far as giving the team a direction in the game, right? In-game shot calling is one thing, in-game leadership is another thing on top of it. And, even if, some of the words he uses are harsh sometimes, or they create strife within the team, Team Liquid, without Dardoch previously in the season, looked like they struggled to find that direction, right?
Yeah.
And that is kind of surfacing here.
Yeah, the direction they've got right now has been downward. They're finding the ganks, and And again, I'll repeat what I said from the first game. Arc Second, as an individual contributor, seems fine. He's getting the ganks off. 2 First Bloods in a row. That's a great track record. The early game leads continue to be here for Liquid, but as you said, the leadership, the direction isn't there, and Envy doing such a better job of team fighting.
As far as 2-week-old junglers that I've seen, Arc Second is the best.
I got to agree with that one, but unfortunately, Liquid's still not the team that they expect to be with this current lineup. So Envy, hey, good job to them. They're leading this series 2-0. So let's hand it back to the analyst desk.
Thank you, gentlemen. Another victory here for Envy. 2-0 out to the lead here in this best of 5. But once again, we see that early lead established by Team Liquid. So, I mean, this kind of points to 2 things. One, Envy's still struggling for whatever reason in the standard lanes, in the early portions of the game. And then on the flip side, Team Liquid not able to turn those large gold advantages into victories through team play.
So the story of it basically is Envy's early game is quite bad. They're not really finding any opportunities for any ganks, for any actual pressure themselves. Liquid is moving all across the map, making those early advantages, but unfortunately, it just looks like Envy has a much better idea of how to play League. They're winning the fights out flat out. For example, we saw Lorlo solo out Seraph, right? He's doing really well, but then randomly decides to throw away the lane, dueling him in the creep wave of 2 creep waves, and then you just throw that out, or committing 5 people for a dive on bot where you only needed like 3. So Envy just kind of waits out and says, we're going to team fight you when we're strong, and they just win every time.
Yeah, it's really interesting watching Envy because I know that their team fighting is quite good, but they are a good mid-late game team, and they always have played to that strength.
Right.
And their laning phase has just been the thing they sacrifice. So teams that can beat them in the laning phase and continue transition will always crush them pretty quickly.
Well, that's what happened in their series against Cloud9. That Cloud9 kind of was surprised by how well Envy was able to execute one of their compositions in the team fighting, and they were unable to handle that.
Kennen? Yeah.
Yeah, the Kennen Lissandra, the double Zanya's, pseudo tanks.
And how about these draft adjustments, right? So we see Team Liquid deciding to take away the cash, and given that both teams decided to stick with bans, we were questioning whether or not we were going to get the salty run back. But Team Liquid make the adjustment. They take the Kassadin away, but now they're picking it into, the late game Vladimir damage, and then also giving Seraph a very solid split push option.
It's just not the Liquid champion, honestly. Playing with Kassadin requires so much knowledge of playing the macro game. You gotta understand waves, how to flank properly. It's a very much, you cannot be in the front line. You have to understand the windows in which you weave in and out, and we didn't see any of that. The split pushing wasn't really there. We saw him maybe one time holding against Braum Lucian.
Where's the Cassiopeia here?
Yeah.
Where's the Phoenix Cassiopeia, right? If we're talking about a Team Liquid champions, Irene, that would be the one I would jump at.
Cassiopeia would be amazing.
Having seen Vladimir picked in, I would feel that would be not only give him some pressure in the lane, allow them to maybe, even more so win those early games and then turn that into higher DPS output late game.
It's got to be a deny pick.
Yeah,
right? They're thinking they don't have to send Kassadin again into the Echo. We don't want that matchup.
Right.
So.
It's just entirely a counter pick or a pick away.
Yeah, but Seraph had no problem playing the Aurelia into the Echo. Did that. Highest damage on his team, second highest damage in the game behind Phoenix.
Yep.
And that's another thing that's jumping out to me is Envy are always running triple threat compositions with their top laner being somebody who's a big threat. And Lorlo is just getting solo killed in lane a few times during the mid game. He's giving up these leads.
Well, we even saw him take grasp with the Undying. So when you talk about being a threat, right, just he's opting for a slightly less damage output build in his mastery choice.
Well, I mean, we have to remember that Team Liquid has played all this time with Dardoch being their main carry. It's a jungler carry team. And while you have a new AD carry as well, the kind of backbone of the team is the support, the top laner, and the mid laner. They're not used to playing without a huge damage threat from the jungle.
Yeah,
so
that's
it's
a
hard to make
huge
that
adjustment.
You don't know what kind of plays you have to make, how much damage, how much more peel and safety you have to offer in a team fight.
Let's go into some replays here. 17 minutes in will be the first kind of big trade for Envy. 2 for 1 near the Drake here. They will push into the mid and pick up a third kill later, but won't be in the replay.
Yeah, Hakuo has actually been playing incredibly well on this Braum all day. I loved his previous team fight last game, but this one as well. Great Braum ultimate across multiple people, buys them the time, gets knocked on key targets, and gives them enough time for that TP to come through without the disengage coming down.
Well, and that's where I think we return to your point about Envy just understanding how to play League a little bit better. One, they were very decisive in their choice to fight there, but 2, in their target selection, right? Zeroing out the Bard and then seeing the exposed AD carry, Seraph knows exactly what his job is on that Aurelia. As long as I get that AD carry out of the fight, this is winnable for us.
And they don't
do exactly
They don't
that.
have to worry about peeling for your AD carry, which is one thing that Team Liquid has been lacking, whereas Envy, you just run the Braum, and Braum is kind of self-sustaining with the AD. Just stick next to him, he's going to be able to stun everybody around him, and it's a lot easier to play it that way. Whereas what Team Liquid should be trying to do is just, okay, you engage with 4, and then you split push with Cassidy. Cassidy comes in from the side and then eliminates the backline, but we never saw that one time. We see them grouped up as 5 trying to make something happen in the death ball. When you're playing against Vladimir and Lucian in the death ball, it's not going to go well.
Now, that fight brought the gold gap closer together, but it's once again around the Baron where we see Envy make their real big stab back into the game. This is going to come 26 minutes into the game here. 3-for-0 in the mid lane over to the Baron.
And this is great. Ninja starts it off. Jinth is so far forward that the Vladimir is on to the AD carry immediately and kills him while he has 4 members on him. And then all of them chase. Ninja still gets away, and Matt goes down as well. And this just ends up being a very quick fight. I think a large part of that is the Sivir's like, I need to follow my team. Jinth needs to help out, and he ended up just getting caught because he's way too far forward.
Now, here's those damage graphs you were talking about just there, the Aurelia. You know, second highest damage of the game against that Cassin, but you can just kind of see the difference in those split push options, and that's where those 1v1s in the later game were happening. There was no answer to Seraph in that pressure.
Yeah, and the macro gets kind of thrown a little bit out the window where the games turn into a, hey, we have pressure, we're just gonna push and you try to come fight us for it. Honestly, this looks like an Envy 3-0. I don't think that any advantage that Team Liquid is able to get is a win, but that's what they're here for. They want to practice. It's very obvious that they want to just get some games in with these new guys.
Let's look at that Game 3 then, Zyrene, because Team Liquid has opted to swap to the red side for Game 3, so at least something is changing as we enter that third game. But now you're in the position, let's say, as coach of this team, how are you going to set Team Liquid up from that red side to have a successful game here?
Yeah, it's got to be, of course, counter picks. Like, if red side, you pick it because you want to counter pick. I want to see how their bans change up, too.
Yeah.
Because you might have to leave something open here, because if Envy are like, oh, we don't really want to ban Gnar anymore, they can pick it up themselves. So that's what it's going to jump out to me. But I think the coach needs to be able to recenter Team Liquid, say, you know what, we're getting all of these early game leads. You guys are clearly a better laning team. And transitioning that, you just make sure you have clear calls, make sure everybody's on the same page, because we've seen flanks that haven't worked out. We've seen that they have kind of the right idea. It's just the timing is different between the
And I
members
think they
of the
just
team.
need a bit more wave clear, honestly. They're kind of losing a lot of pressure. They're always being later in the pushes around middle because of the lack of attempts that wave. With Cassidy, not one of them. You have
But they have
Jin.
Sivir at both times.
They had Sivir one time.
They had Sivir one time.
They had
Yeah.
Jin, right? So they had Jin, Vlad one time, and now this time it's Cassidy with Sivir. While
Yeah.
Sivir is good enough, having the mid laner to help that out in the beginning of the early game is a lot better because they're not able to do anything around middle regarding pressure.
All right, well, we're looking for some kind of adjustments. Maybe the counter picks will be enough for Team Liquid. We're heading into a 3.5-minute break. Join us on the other side to see if Envy can complete the sweep or if Team Liquid strikes back. We'll be right back.
Game 2 as Liquid hope to make a comeback.
Alright, guys, like 20 more games until we win Worlds.
Oh, fuck. That's not hard. That's pretty
Karma.
easy.
Flash away, doesn't quite get stunned, but it's going to be enough anyway. Lorlo gets the kill on a Proxen, and now it's poor Seraph underneath the turret. Jinth has aggro, he's going to get hit up. One more hit will do it.
Teleport in and in fight.
A bit of a team fight. Matt taking a lot of damage. One more hit will do it. They're going to knock him down. Seraph gets one already, and now Jinth in a whole world of trouble. He's got full mana, and an Ocean Drake's actually giving him some health back. There's the body slam flash and Proxen.
Envy want this fight.
And they're going to catch Matt, though. It's going to be one picked off already. Lod's unstoppable. Here comes the dive on in. Phoenix got to run away. Seraph in the back line. He's already picked off Jin. Phoenix going to run for this one. Arcsticker running out of health as well. Jumps over the wall, but here comes Seraph anyway. The Nexus goes down, and Envy